watching the brat. ChesaTheBrat, yeah. Get a subscriber tab. ChesaTheBrat. Turn around.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, girl, hurry up. What are you doing? Literally, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you haven't heard, but if you subscribe to me, you get a better ass, you get a bigger bank, you get that nigga you was plotting on. Yeah. Before I even get into the story time, I want to go ahead and say, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Y'all already know, like in my last video, I said that people have been DMing me for like the last month telling me that something iffy is going on. They have to search me up, or they're like, they've subscribed before and then they check and they're not subscribed anymore, or they have post notifications on but they're not getting notified of my videos. So I don't really know exactly what's going on. I don't really know the fix for that, but I do know that if you stop this video right now, pause this video, or you don't have to pause it, you can just swipe out of this video while you're watching right now and go ahead and give this video a like. I know that will help the algorithm of my video. I don't know why, I don't know the details of it, but I do know that when you guys give my videos a thumbs up or just like my video, it definitely does really good for my video. It pushes it out. So if you guys could, that really helps me out a whole lot. And also, even if you feel like you subscribed in the past, you remember subscribing, baby, no matter what, can you make sure that you are subscribed right now? And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. If you're new here, baby, you might as well just subscribe, because the tea be hot over here. Just ask in the comments, they'll let you know the tea be hot over here. Like, I got tea for you, baby. I got tea for you. I'm just gonna say that there's extra tea on Patreon and less censored things on Patreon. So if you want to go subscribe to my Patreon, go ahead. And it kind of describes on there what it is and explains like just the details of it, so I don't even have to do that. So go ahead to Patreon and subscribe if you want to. And the last thing before I jump into this story time also is, y'all, I have been holding on to this information almost like it's top secret. Like, I've been holding on to this information like it's the Krabby Patty formula. Like, I haven't even hinted at you guys or hinted at it or anything, but I feel like maybe if you really pay attention, you probably felt it coming, because I have done subscriber promos and I have done little things to help you guys out with y'all's own personal content and your own personal channels and things like that. But you guys, I have for months been working on something very special that is available to you guys right now, and it is my no BS guide to content creation. I'm gonna put the little cover right here. I know everybody and their mama is putting out some type of ebook, but you guys, this is like the literal no BS guide. What everybody is not telling you, everything that I went through, that all the speed bumps I had to get over, all the secrets, industry secrets, just everything that I wish somebody told me before I started my content. And you guys, y'all already know that I don't play when it comes to you guys' content and you guys' just channels and things like that. I'm always willing to help you guys out because I want everybody to win. So if you're serious about either the content you're already creating or the content that you want to start creating, baby, you have no excuse anymore. You have no excuse. Stop procrastinating, stop putting it off, stop BSing, and put out your content. Stop waiting. There's no reason to wait. So the ebook is out right now. It is a one-time purchase for knowledge that you will be able to keep forever. It's not something that expires. You get to keep all of the detailed pages. Y'all, I have over 10 detailed pages of everything that you need to know when it comes to content creating. One-time purchase for forever knowledge. I'm also going to be picking a handful of the people who purchased my ebook to take under my wing and just do one-on-one, like almost like a mentorship that I've told you guys about before. I was hinting at it and foreshadowing or whatever, but I'm going to be taking a handful of people and doing just one-on-one hands-on help with your content, whether it's thumbnails, whether it's editing, whether it's just advice that you need, whatever it is, we'll be able to talk one-on-one. And I will be picking people anonymously from who purchases the ebook, so definitely go ahead. The link to the ebook is going to be in my pinned comment as well as in the link tree. I typed this out myself. This is everything that you need to know. So if you want to start creating, even if it's not on YouTube, if it's just content you want to do on TikTok, content you want to create in general, and you just never knew where to start, you feel discouraged, all you need is that ebook. So go ahead and get that ebook right now. I know that you guys are probably not surprised if it has something to do with a little tussle, but this story time, y'all, I told y'all I was gonna start doing the story times where I was in the wrong, or even if I wasn't in the wrong, where I just it just wasn't a situation that I should have put myself into, because I definitely put myself in the position for this story time to even happen. Yes, Shawty was wrong and like she had me fucked up and all of that, but I never had to even put myself in a position to have any situation with this girl at this point, because I literally went out of my way to go have this situation. So y'all just tune in. I told y'all not every story time is gonna be where I'm getting snuck or somebody's hitting me first or something like that, baby. Sometimes I gotta crash out. Okay, sometimes I've crashed out, and I'm just gonna be honest. We're gonna just go ahead and jump into giving this girl a name. We're gonna name her Tweety. And you probably, if you a smart bitch like me, you probably can put two and two together and kind of like think about why her name might be Tweety. Her name is Tweety for two different reasons, and I'm only gonna tell you one of the reasons. And the first reason I'm gonna tell you is because the bitch
is a bird.
I be dealing with a lot of bird ass bitches, bird brain ass, but this was a literal
bird.
And also, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself, but that's the main reason we're gonna name this bitch Tweety. Tweety, y'all know Tweety Bird, right?
Yeah.
Tweety was one of them girls, y'all, that just was always around. Like, no matter what, this was just one of those girls that I was never friends with. She wasn't part of my circle, but I literally could not get rid of this bitch.
Like she was a bed bug.
Now, I ain't never had bed bugs. No shade.
No shade. If you have bed bugs, baby, that's not your fault.
But I just heard that if you have bed bugs, it's really, really hard to get rid of bed bugs. You can try to get rid of them, and a bed bug always gonna pop back up. I can also think of something else that you can't get rid of that's always gonna pop back up that she also had, but I'm not even gonna take it there. You can use your imagination, baby. YouTube is not gonna play with me if I say it, but baby,
I can think of something else.
we were in the same grade. We were never friends. We had a couple classes, 10th grade, like 1 or 2 classes, 11th grade, and like 1 class, 12th grade. I felt like the universe was testing me and low-key wanted me to be around this girl because, I don't know. Honestly, I would say that maybe the universe wanted some lesson to be learned either from me or from her. But once y'all get to the end of this, y'all can tell me what y'all think the reason was, because I don't think anything was learned.
I think she learned something.
I think she learned something. Tweety was also the type of girl who was
always popping it,
but she never backed up nothing that she was popping. Like, I'm not gonna say that she was completely scary, because y'all know that I can be real. I'm not gonna say she was completely scary, because I definitely saw her get in a fight. But the whole thing is, I saw her get in a fight because she was popping it about somebody, and that girl just decided to pop her. You know what I'm saying? She was popping it and she got popped. But she also was somebody that she would be popping it, and then you would confront her and she would be like,
oh no, I didn't say that.
Or,
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know who you checking. I didn't say that.
like, she still would have an attitude. And it was kind of like me, because I try to give her the benefit of the doubt, because there were certain girls in my grade that, like, there were like a select few girls that would have said that I was scary because they've confronted me and asked me, oh, did you say this about me? I heard you said this about me. And I told them I didn't. But literally, y'all, the reason I said I didn't was because I dead ass didn't. Like, I know y'all know me for like, oh, you be getting down and stuff like that. But like, I literally do not go out of my way to pop it for no reason. So if there were girls that confronted me, because y'all know there's a lot of he say, she say in high school. There's a lot of gossiping. There's a lot of fake, messy shit going on. So if somebody heard that I was talking about them and I literally wasn't, and then they ended up asking me about it, yes, I might be like who are you checking? Like, I never said that, but like, if I did, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still stood my ground, and I still like didn't let anybody feel like they could little girl me or like they could check me to a certain extent. But if I didn't say the shit, I'm not gonna say, yeah, I said it. I mean, there probably were a couple times where, depending on the girl's energy, I might have been like, yeah, I said that, even if I didn't, because it's like, the way you coming at me, you already made your mind up, and it's like, it's giving, if I say the wrong thing, you're gonna swing. So it's like, if that's what it is, if that's the energy that it's on, then it's okay. But there were some times where a girl would come at me with genuine energy, and obviously she just heard that I said something, so she was just clarifying. And if it gave that, then I'll be like, girl, I didn't say that. This girl was the type of girl to be talking about everybody and their mama, and she would always deny it until she got hit. And if she got hit, she would swing back. So again, not completely scary, because there are those girls that will get hit and won't swing back. Not too much on you if you're that type of girl, if you're not a fighter. Actually,
too much on you.
Too much on you, because if somebody hits you, baby, you need to hit them back.
Amen.
If somebody hits you, you need to defend yourself. I don't give a if your mama didn't tell you that. I don't give a if your big sister didn't tell you that. I do not care if your mama told you not to hit nobody back. If your mama won't tell you, I'll tell you. If somebody hits you, you need to defend yourself. Don't let nobody treat you like you a human punching bag, because baby, you not.
No shade.
She would throw rocks and literally hide her hands. So our first issue, I want to say I met her around like 9th grade, but our first ever issue wasn't until 11th grade. I didn't like her in 9th grade. I didn't like her in 10th grade because I just knew she was a messy ass. She just wasn't my cup of tea, but I had no direct beef with her, and she never did anything to me directly until 11th grade. So 11th grade, fast forward, I started talking to this boy. This boy is a non-factor in this story for real. He don't even deserve a name. He a lame ass nigga, but we're just gonna say old boy for the sake of this story. I started talking to old boy, and I kid you guys not, we probably talked for a literal week. Like, I literally inhale, and by the time I exhale,
That's no longer my nigga.
like literally, he was just one of those dudes where like I had a crush on him. He was cute. I was feeling him. And then as soon as we started talking or whatever, it started circulating that we're talking. People know that we're talking or whatever, but he ends up cutting me off, and like basically once everybody finds out. I feel like it was giving like once people started talking about that we were a thing or whatever, he wanted nothing to do with that. And I feel like he also caught wind maybe from like other niggas, or just caught wind from his little homegirls or whatever that he would talk to. I just felt like he picked up on the fact that I wasn't going, like I wasn't no hoe ass, and he was looking for a bitch that was going. And once he realized that that was not what it was giving, he was like on to the next. Like he was high and ready like a Little Caesar's pizza bitch, and I just wasn't. So we were never gonna work out. She found out that we were talking. She caught wind that we stopped talking or whatever. He cut me off, mind you, y'all. He played me like a green ass bitch. He literally cut me off out of nowhere, started talking to another bitch. Obviously Tweety, like the miserable obsessed ass bitch that she is, she starts talking to oh boy just right after me, y'all. Didn't even let him wipe his ass before she started talking to him. Like literally immediately starts talking to him. I did not care. Like I literally did not care that she started talking to him, because if you could do me like that, baby, you could do any like that. Like I'm not thinking nope she's better than me, like oh he would do me like that, but he would treat her so much better. Like we're in high school, these niggas ain't like, you know what I'm saying? So I really did not care. If it was my homegirl who started talking to him after me, I would care. But this bitch was never my friend.
Like I said,
I want to say they talked for a cool 2 months, and I did not evaluate why he talked to her longer than he talked to me. None of that. I literally did not care. I was on to the next nigga. As soon as that nigga dropped me off, that nigga dropped me off right here, and I picked up another nigga right here. I already told y'all in high school I was juggling literally like this, so I didn't care. Like I'm already on to my next new team. Like what are you talking about? So she's.
we got a hater in the audience. You want to come over here?
They start talking or whatever, y'all, and he ends up cutting her off after like 2 months ish. I don't really know the tea on that yet, and y'all are gonna find out the tea, and the tea is so hot. But he ends up cutting her off like 2 months later, right? So my homegirl, I don't even know who it was, but some girl that knew, like she was like in a class with her or something like that, ends up coming up to me at my locker probably a week after he cuts her off, right? And she ends up coming up to me, and she's just like, did you know what Tweety was saying about you? And she was talking dirt about you, saying that oh boy, or no, she said this while she was still talking to him. This was I didn't mean to say 2 weeks or a week after he cut her off. I meant like a week before. So while they're talking or whatever, one of my homegirls ends up approaching me at my locker, and she's just like, did you know what Tweety said? And I'm like, what Tweety say, girl? And she's like,
Tweety was talking about how the only reason old boy was talking to you is because you light skinned, and how you ugly and you just light skinned, and he like light skinned bitches. So because you're light skinned, he was with you, and he also was just trying to fuck, but you wasn't going, so that's why he cut you off or whatever.
so I'm just like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, I just want to be very clear, because in my last story time I said about the girl, like when I was dealing with a girl and she was basically trying to make her ex-girlfriend jealous, or her current girlfriend, whatever it was, jealous by talking to me. And she was like, I was only with you because my ex would have been triggered and jealous because you're Afro-Latina or whatever. I was not saying that off of my own assumption, y'all. Somebody was like, it's giving your, I'm not gonna say that word because this is YouTube, but they were saying like, it's giving you feel like you're better because of how you look and the color of your skin, and because you're mixed or whatever. And y'all, I literally do not feel like that. I don't feel like I look better than anybody. I love my melanated queens. I did not say that out of my mouth. She said, I guess it was one of those things where she like was cheating, or maybe not cheating, but like she was always, when they broke up, talking to a girl that was Hispanic in some way. That's just like if you have an ex and he cheats on you all the time with, you know, palm colored women, and palm colored women don't look nothing like you, and then he breaks up with you and then starts dating a palm colored woman to just make you jealous. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was not a comment that came from my brain. That was literally what she said. I guess old boy had like a history or like just a pattern of messing with a lot of light-skinned girls, and because he messed with me, she was just saying like, you're not even cute, you're just light-skinned, and a lot of light-skinned girls get overhyped because they're just light-skinned, but they don't even be cute, they don't even be giving nothing. And I'm not gonna lie, I can agree with that to a certain extent. I do feel like a lot of girls do be getting hyped up just because they're light-skinned, and sometimes men will just praise a woman because she's light-skinned and she's not even, you know what I'm saying, she's not on the melanin women. But it was like she was calling me ugly, saying that he was only giving me attention because I was light-skinned. It's giving you're hating because bitch, I'm T. Like, what are you talking about? That's a little comment that my friend told me. She said, I didn't really care about that part, but it was the part where she was like,
oh, and he was just looking to cue, and since you did it, that's why he cut you off.
and it's like, girl, what kind of insult do you even think that is? You're basically saying he wanted to go for you because he thought he could get some and he couldn't.
I'm not gonna let you get the chance.
So he had to, like, you know, go find a bitch that's going. And you were the bitch that he went to go find.
Stupid.
He thought that I was going, and he found out that I wasn't. So he went to you because he felt like
You were.
Like, what? Bitch, you really just insulted yourself. Are you stupid?
Are you slow?
So I didn't really care that much, but I definitely did want to go like check her, because it's like, why are you even talking about it? It's almost like you're trying to create imaginary beef and like create this beefy ass narrative between me and you about a nigga that I don't even care about. Like, I shed no tears. I didn't give a fuck. I did not argue with him about him cutting me off. None of that. I literally did not care. So it's like, you're trying to make it seem like because you're talking to him now that we got some type of beef, and I literally couldn't care less. So I wanted to go say something to her. So I catch her in the locker room or whatever in gym, and I approach her one-on-one. I didn't want to approach her with like no entourage, with my friends. I didn't need no audience. I just caught her in the locker room when it was just a couple girls in the locker room that had nothing to do with us and just her. So I walk up on her and I'm like, girl, why am I hearing that you're saying so-and-so about me and old boy? And why are you like trying to make it seem like we got some type of pressure about a nigga? Because I'm not beefing with you about no nigga. Like, it's never getting that. Like, you got him, you can have him, baby. I don't got nothing to do with that. I don't give a so why you got my name in your mouth, basically? When I end up asking her about this or whatever, one of her homegirls ends up walking in the locker room, and it's not giving like she's walking in on some like, oh, what this girl trying to do. Like, she's not walking in on her defense. She's just walking in because it's like she's waiting on her to come out, and she's trying to see what's taking her so long to come out, I guess. So she walks in or whatever, and she's just like, you good? And she's like, yeah, I'm good. She's just like asking me a question or whatever, and she's just like,
well, I wasn't really saying that to talk I was just saying, like, he didn't really mess with you like that, and I kind of just said what I said or whatever, and I just felt like he wasn't feeling you like how you was feeling him.
And I was like, well, respectfully, I don't really give a how you feel, and it's not really your place to speak on our situation, and it's already weird that you started with him immediately after me, but we not friends, so you don't, you know, owe me no loyalty, so I really don't give up. But you're not about to be walking around speaking on me and speaking on what you think you know. He didn't even try nothing with me. Like, y'all, he literally, it's not like I've dealt with situations where a nigga would try something with me and it wouldn't go that way, or it wouldn't go in the way that he wanted to go, so he would cut me off. But with this nigga, he probably already like peeped game before he even tried. So it's like, how would you know that? And I doubt that he said that to you. You're messy. You wanted me to say something to you. So I'm just like, I don't give a how you feel. You just need to keep my name out of your mouth, because I'm not gonna just, you know what I'm saying, I'm not about to do nothing to you right now. Like, her friend started like inching towards her on some like, come on, like, you don't need to argue, like, come on, like, we don't need to do this right now. And I was like, baby, I'm not doing nothing to her. I'm not about to do nothing. I'm not about to put my hands on her. But it's like, you just need to watch your mouth and keep my name out of your mouth, and that's just it. Like, we're good as long as you keep my name out your mouth and just shut your mouth, literally. So fast forward, y'all, I don't know if this is 12th or 11th grade, but we end up having AP debate together, y'all. I did not play when it came to my AP class. Like, my debate class, I was in debate class from 9th grade all the way to 12th grade. I graduated with a cord in debate, all that. I was doing debate competitions and shit like that. So I definitely took it very seriously. And to be honest, I really did not care that she was in there, because I didn't speak to her. I had girls in there that I was friends with. I had dudes that was in there that I was friends with. So I wasn't stunting that she was in there. Like, I really didn't care. But this random day, y'all, this is why I feel like she's a pick-me girl. And these type of shit I just do not mesh with, because like, you will do anything and you will pop it, or you will show your ass and just act out of the way that you normally act on a day-to-day basis when there's a nigga involved. Like, I hate bitches like that. So this random day, we end up having this new student end up being in our classroom temporarily though, y'all. This was not even this man's elective class. Like, electives are those little extra classes, debate class, gym class, I don't even know other examples, like art, like that. And he wasn't supposed to be in our debate class, but I guess like all the other classes were full, and until he picked an elective or he got like selected for one or whatever, however it worked, he was in our class. We end up getting a debate where the way that they did it in there, since it was an AP class, we had to do more difficult little like assignments and shit like that. And yes, we would do like long-term debates where we would do research for weeks, and then when the like month is over, we would do the whole debate either in class or we would have it like on a random day. It would be like an after school thing where people come and watch us do it, like competitions. But when we were just in that class, we would do it against each other. And sometimes we would have like mini debates, which would like just help our skills, and it would polish our skills for when we do our real debates. So it was just practice or whatever. And basically what would happen is sometimes we would be able to pick what we're debating against. And if you like feel like you agree with it, you could ask around like who disagrees with this, and somebody who actually disagrees, like personally in real life disagrees, they would be like, oh, I'll go against you on that, and then y'all would both get research on both ends, and then y'all would do the debate together. Or sometimes the teacher would pick the topic and pick two people, and she would pick what side you debate on. Even if you didn't agree with something, sometimes she would say, well, you have to argue the side that you do agree, and find research and cite evidence and stuff like that based off of your argument, even if it's not something that you personally feel. I end up getting assigned a debate where I had to argue that I disagreed that discrimination was not still a big prevalent issue in the community. It was like basically the topic was discrimination in minority communities was not, or no, was a issue that was overblown, basically saying that it was exaggerated and it was no longer really a big issue or something that really still exists or is still happening in, like, you know, modern day society. And it's basically just something that people are complaining about even though it's not real anymore. And I had to argue that that's not true, which I was so happy that I had to argue that, baby, discrimination is very much still a prevalent issue, and that's how I really feel in real life. So I was okay with arguing that, and if I had to argue the other side, I would have been able to do that. She picked Tweety to go against me, so she had to argue that it was overblown and that it was exaggerated and that it was being dragged basically, and that it was no longer really an issue. And I don't really know how she felt about that personally, because again, we were not friends, but she had to argue that. After she says her little spiel or whatever, I start saying my side. And probably like a minute into me speaking, she ends up cutting me off and kind of like laughing. And she's like,
yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't be arguing with this girl about this because
like, not no shade, but like, let's just pretend in placement of no shade was whatever we was saying back then. She probably was like not gonna lie or something, but she was like, no shade, I feel like I should be arguing with somebody that actually knows what discrimination is like, somebody that's actually part of the community, somebody that's actually part of a minority group. And I feel like she just isn't even part of a minority for real and doesn't really know much about discrimination.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And I was just like, girl, what are you talking about? Because like, if y'all are new here and y'all don't know, half of my family is from Venezuela and half of my family is black. So both sides of my family are minority groups. And also the Venezuelan side of my family, I have immigrant family, literally. So you face discrimination in literally all minorities. So I'm just like looking at her like, well, girl, what are you talking about? Mind you, the argument wasn't about one certain minority group. It was just about minorities in general. You know what I'm saying? She was like, girl, you not even from the community for real. You don't face no discrimination. The only discrimination you and your family probably ever faced was
being worried about if your family was going to be sent back to where they came from.
Okay, but like, are you good, or like do you need that?
What did you just say? Like, y'all, everybody, like, I don't know if she thought that because there was a new boy in the class, he was gonna chuckle at that, or if the class that was already in there was gonna laugh. But literally the whole class was like in unison. Almost everybody was just like Because like you gagged everybody and not in a good way. Like, what are you talking about? She said the most ignorant I walk around the podium and I'm getting hyped with her. I'm like,
What did you say? What are you talking about? Like, what is wrong with you? What's your real beef with me? What's your beef with me?
and like I start getting in her face or whatever. Miss Bradley ends up separating us and we end up getting like separated to the point where I get sent out the class or whatever to the counselor or the vice principal. I don't really know, but I get sent up there or whatever, and I end up sitting up there for a cool 2 hours. And the conversation I ended up having with like the counselor or the vice principal was one of those situations where it was like, if I didn't agree to have a conversation with her, a peer mediation or one of those, I would have got in trouble. I would have got sent to ISS. I would have been it would have been all that. And I really didn't want to deal with that. So I was like, you know what? If she don't, you know, come out the side of her neck talking crazy, if she can apologize to me or whatever, I'm willing to have a conversation with her. But if she tries it, I'm going to pop it. Like, I'm not going to close my mouth. You know what I'm saying? They already knew that about me. So I feel like they really didn't need to be told that. So they're like, all right, cool. So like 2 hours later, I done calmed down from the situation. I was just up there chilling on my phone and getting like assignments sent up there for me to do and shit like that. And she ends up coming in there. Mind you, the table is like this long. I'm here. She's here. There's a counselor here. We're separated by like 15 feet. So it's not even like I could jump across the table and smack her if I wanted to. So she was very much safe. So we get in there and I'm just like, so I just want to know what your beef is with me. Like, I'm not even trying to take it there. I'm not even trying to check you. But it's like, you have been doing shit accumulatively till this point. I never had no beef with you. I never had no pressure with you. You not my type of, and you not my cup of tea, but we're not beefing. Like, we have no beef. I don't even know you like that. I don't even like, I'm not about to sit up here and pretend like we got beef over a nigga. I don't even know that nigga name for real. Baby, we spoke for like all of like 72 hours before he cut me off. And now you got him, you talked to him, you got that, baby. You have him. You can keep him. Like, what are we beefing about? You know what I'm saying? So she's just like,
I feel like you just be taking stuff too seriously. I just be joking around with you. I wasn't really trying to beef with you. And I feel like you took what I said in debate class the wrong way. I really wasn't even trying you like that. And she's like, we don't gotta be friends, but I was never trying to like perpetuate no type of beef with you.
And she's just copping please, like a ass bitch, not gonna lie. In front of this counselor, she's copping please. She's saying she never was even trying to disrespect me like that and all this. So lucky, like, good for me. Like, you can cop please, because the alternative is you standing on what you said and you gonna be popping it some more, and you keep popping it and I'm gonna have to handle you. Like, I'm gonna have to treat you. So I was cool with her copping please, to be honest. I wasn't surprised. So I'm like, all right, well, whatever. So we end up having to agree to not speak to each other, to not say nothing to each other, to not look in each other's direction. If we do have to do a debate together or whatever, we gonna do the debate and then go back to not speaking, not looking in each other's way, just staying out of each other's way. And I had no problem with that, y'all. I swear, even after this situation, I had no problem with that. That obviously solidified I did not with her, but I agreed to not speak to her because it was coming close to when I was supposed to be graduating, and I was just trying to get out of that school, and I wasn't trying to have no problem. So I was like, you know what? I won't speak to her. She don't speak to me. Whatever. She's like, I won't bother her. I won't say nothing else. Cool. I basically just ended up saying, like, I won't speak to her. I won't say nothing else. But if she tries me again, if she says something else to me, if she bothers me again,
I'm gonna slide her ass.
like, if she says something else to me, I'm going to beat the fuck out of her. Simple as that. This part, y'all, is kind of fucked up, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't condone this type of shit. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Even though I didn't fuck with her, I did not support no shit like this, right? So like I said, they probably talked for like 2 months. He ends up cutting her off after he done got the, you know what I'm saying, he got the goodies or whatever. Turns out he ends up exposing her.
And
He ends up sending around, it's not like on an exposed page, it's not like on one of those pages where they're posting pictures of girls that they took of themselves and sent to people or nothing like that, but he ends up taking a video of them, not really of them doing anything, more so of her doing something to him, if y'all know what I'm saying. So he ends up taking a video of that and sending it to one of his homeboys, or like dropping it in the group chat type of thing. And again, I did not with her in the slightest, but when I heard about this, I remember saying with my homegirls, like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, I never got exposed. Growing up, I just wasn't fast, and I'm not even blaming it on being fast or nothing like that, because even if you did one thing, you could have got exposed. But like, I just never gave anybody the opportunity to expose me because I just wasn't doing shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But I had friends that got exposed. I knew girls that got exposed, and I never supported nothing like that because that's extremely up, evil, and just a violation of privacy. So I remember thinking it was up. It gets to the point where it's getting to teachers. Like, teachers are pulling her out of class. She's getting sent up to the front, and he's getting sent up to the front because they're starting to say they're doing stuff in school, behind the stairwell, in the bathrooms. I don't know if it was true or not. I never seen no video. I never seen no concrete evidence of what people were talking about. But I had homegirls that came up to me and said, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you hear what happened with Tweety? And I'll be like, damn, that's up. But even though I agreed to not speak to her or nothing like that, stay out of her way, I'm not gonna lie, like when my homegirls would come talk to me about it, we wouldn't be like, damn, that's up. I'm not gonna lie, like when they came talking to me about her, I was like, shh. Like how you walk in a single file line in elementary school with your hand in front of your lips. Like, this girl ends up calling herself confronting me. She ends up catching me like by my locker or something, like in the actual main hallway, and I was by myself, and she was just like, she walked up on me, and the way she walked up on me, y'all, I'm like getting ready to, like, you know what I'm saying, square up, because I'm like, girl, whoa, who is you walking up on? And she's just like,
you don't gotta do all that. I'm not walking up on you to fight, but I just wanted to ask, like, why am I hearing that you got something to do with the videos being circulated about me? Like, why would you be speaking about that? Like, we're not even supposed to be speaking on each other or speaking to each other.
and I'm just like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, the fact that she even questioned anything like that, like, girl, use your brain for one. The boy that exposed you is a boy that just cut me off right before talking to you. Mind you, we're not friends. Not just me and her, but me and him are not friends. After he cut me off, yeah, I wasn't like broken hearted, but like, you know what I'm saying? Me and him were no longer speaking once he cut me off. It's not like he cut me off and I was just cool with it and we was friends. No, baby, I stopped talking to the man. So why do you think I would have anything to do with him exposing something that has to do with you when I don't even talk to him? Like, what? So I'm just like, girl, no, like, with all due respect, I'm sorry that's going on with you. Like, y'all, I have always been a real ass. If something crazy stuff is happening, I can be a real to say that that is up, and that I hope that, you know, she gets through it. But baby, at the same time, who the fuck are you talking to? So I was like, baby, I don't got nothing to do with that. I don't even speak to that nigga. We spoke all of, like, again, 48 to 72 hours. He dogged me like the first chance that he got, and then he started with you. I don't know why you thought he was going to treat you any better. And honestly, I feel like you should just do better as a overall. Like, I wasn't blaming her, like, I'm not doing the victim blaming, but I was telling her, like, I feel like you should be a better person and focus on, like, elevating how you act and how you are as a bitch, and just being a better person to people, because you be making fun of discriminatory you be making fun of immigrant families. Like, the way that you are is just not cute, and you, like, you reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. I'm not blaming you. What that is extremely fucked up, but you just need to focus on being a better person in general, because I don't really know what else to say. I don't got nothing to do with that. And you also don't need to be coming up on me trying to check me, because you can't check, baby, you can't check me. You know what I'm saying? So she was just kind of like,
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, whatever.
and it starts getting heated. We're yelling at each other, and I'm like, and if I did, like, it gets to a point where I'm like,
I didn't do that, but if I did, like what? Like what? You think that I did that, so what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? You think that I'm the one who sent the video? What are you gonna do?
obviously that gets separated too. Every attempt that I had to check her, yell at her, the attempts that I had to try to fight her in the debate classroom, it always got separated. I never got to throw hands with her in the school. So that got separated too. So that's the last situation that happened in high school before we got to college. And just keep in mind that all of this was building up for me, because it was like, I had a lot to lose when it came to especially my senior year. So normal Chesa, like, would have thrown hands with her in that debate class after what she said about just my family and stuff like that, but I had so much to lose, so I just didn't do that. But by the time we graduated and all that, I did not with her
At all.
like, it was beefy with her, it was all of that, like, it was up. But in school, it just wasn't giving that. If you're an OG, you already know, but if you're not, I'm gonna give you guys enough information to just understand. After high school, I ended up going to a community college because I just didn't want to go to a big university, and I ended up getting like an apartment with my homegirls, because we didn't have housing at a community college, and we ended up going there for like a semester, or maybe a semester and a half, maybe 2 max. And then after that was around when the virus was circulating and everybody was staying at home and nobody could go outside, and it was a quarantine. And just all of that ended up happening, right? So I ended up dropping out right before the virus ended up like becoming a thing. So I ended up dropping out of school because I just didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to waste my people's money because it was my money and also my people's money. They were helping me out, and I didn't want to waste any more money into that school if I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was going to school for psychology, but I just wasn't fulfilled with what I was doing, and I wasn't sure that's the like route I wanted to take. So I wanted to take a step back from school, figure out what I wanted to do, and then go back to school if that's what I wanted to do. I obviously ended up doing social media like eventually, but I didn't know what I wanted to do just yet. So I left school, and I ended up, me and my boo, my current boo, at the time we were still, you know, very much rocking, and we ended up moving in with my brother. We ended up moving in with my brother, and I ended up working at the hair store in the ghetto, baby, in the ghetto. So I ended up working at the beauty supply store, and I told my friends, like, it wasn't a secret. I was very vocal about it. I posted about it on my spam. I posted about it on my Snapchat. It wasn't something I was ashamed of, because it wasn't like I got dropped out of the school because my grades were bad or because I wanted to go have a baby and be laid up with a nigga not doing nothing with my life. Or even if that's what you did, baby, do what you want to do with your life. But it's not like I dropped out of school to not fulfill anything. I just wanted to take a break from school. Like, I never took a real break from school, and I wanted to just get like wrap my head around what I wanted to do with my life. Like, I felt like at the time, I very much felt like I needed to know everything I wanted to do. I felt like I had to have all the answers, and I just wanted to know what I wanted to do with my life. So I started working at the beauty supply store because I obviously needed to pay bills. Like, even though we was living with my brother, we had to pay to live there. I had to pay for my car and all that stuff. So I was working at the beauty supply store. So somehow Tweety, miserable, obsessed ass, caught wind of me leaving school and working at the beauty supply store. So one of my friends, and we're gonna give her the name Feather, and we're gonna give her the name Feather because she was a very petite girl. She was like a featherweight, and she also was very soft, and y'all are gonna see how she's soft. We're not gonna get into that just yet, but we're gonna name her Feather. Feather ends up hitting me up on a random day, and she ends up sending me a screenshot of something that Tweety tweeted on Twitter. And this was probably one of the last years. I still have a Twitter, y'all. My Twitter is Love Benny. I do not get on Twitter. I'm probably gonna get back on there to use for promotion and stuff like that. But Twitter was something that I could never pop off on. Like, no matter what, no matter how relatable my tweets were, it just wasn't popping off. So I just gave up on that. But I was on Twitter like around that time very heavily. And I wasn't really too much tweeting stuff, but I was like using that app a lot. So I got on Twitter, or she sent me a tweet from Tweety, and it was like,
peaked in high school and they go to college just to drop out and work at the hair store.
Basically saying like,
this bum ass peaked in high school and went to college just to drop out and work at the hair store. Like, I couldn't be me.
Something like that, because she was very much in a big university. Her parents had money. Her parents paid for her whole school. Like, her whole journey in school, they paid for it. Her housing, they paid for it. Her car, they paid for it. She had the privilege of her parents paying for everything, which I'm not saying that's bad. Baby, you're blessed. But it's like, she was trying to talk down on me because I left school and was working at the beauty supply store. Like, girl, are you okay? Like, what the fuck? You thought you ate that? She sends me that tweet. And I'm like, oh, so she needs that. Like, I have not spoken to this girl since high school. I've not tweeted about her. I've not seen her tweet about me. Of course, I've like seen little tweets, like relatable tweets that she's made that my mutual, like people that were mutually friends with us both, or like knew us both or followed us both, would retweet and stuff like that. So I've seen her tweet stuff. Never about me, nothing like that. Like, I literally did not speak to this girl or on this girl since high school. And of course, Feather was a girl that went to our high school and knew of like our previous beef and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, okay. She went to like either GSU or like Kennesaw State. I don't really know what school she went to, but it was like, even though I knew what school she went to, it wasn't given that I would just be able to pull up to her campus and find her. I wasn't that delusional. So even though I saw that and I definitely wanted to fight her, it was just kind of one of those things where I was like, damn, I don't really know what to do about this or say about this. And Feather was like, the fact that she's still on this old ass beef, the fact that she's still worried about you, still popping it about you, like, we need to do something. I'm like, we really should beat the out of her, but I don't know how we can, because I don't know how to find her, basically. And she's just like, well, and she ends up telling me that Tweety is throwing a little party or whatever. And they had like this spring break thing that was coming up where like for spring break, everybody was gonna go back to like their hometown or whatever. And I guess instead of them going to the beach or whatever, they was gonna go back to like their area where we went to high school. And Tweety had a big house, like she had like a big crib or whatever, and she was gonna be throwing a little spring break party at her crib, a little pool party vibe. And I didn't know the address to her house, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know it, but Feather was friends with a girl that knew Tweety, which is why she even found the tweet and all that stuff. So I'm like, oh, so she ends up telling me like,
girl, we should pull up to her pool party. I don't with that, and she keeps speaking on you. Like, we should really pull up and like you should hand her that. Like, you should give it to her.
And I'm like, okay, well, who, like, are you gonna come with me? Because she's obviously gonna probably be there with her friends, and I don't got like a big entourage I can come with. Like, I had homegirls or whatever, but it's like, at the time, it just wasn't working out. Like, a lot of my homegirls were not in the area, were at school, were doing their own thing. So I was just like, are you gonna come with me? And she's like,
yeah, girl, if I'll come with you. You can fight her, and if anybody jumps in, I'm on that with you. I'm gonna jump in. I got you. I got your back. All of that.
I know that's right.
so I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I wasn't even worried about getting jumped. Like, I didn't think that would be a thing because it just wasn't given that. But I was like, as long as you got me, if somebody does happen to jump in the fight, as long as you got me, baby, we good. She gives me the address. We end up pulling up. We get to this party, y'all, and we're probably there for a cool 15 minutes. I still do not see Tweety. We done got a drink. We done got a hot dog. Like, we eating or whatever. I'm chilling. I got a bathing suit on. I don't know why I came with a bathing suit on, because like, y'all are gonna get into it. But I got my bathing suit on. Feather got her bathing suit on. We pull up. We looking cute. And honestly, I was planning on vibing out a little bit because she obviously wouldn't like expect me to be there. So we vibed out for a cool 20 minutes, 15 minutes. And then I end up seeing Tweety. So I'm just like, hey, come on, Feather. Like, come on. I see her. And like, I'm taking off my earrings. I'm dropping my stuff. Like, I'm about to swing on her. I'm about to just sneak her at this point. I did not care because you done said enough about me. It was really the comment you said about me and my family in high school that was enough for me. I did not care about none of that, all that square up, because every time I tried you in your face, you did not want to, you know what I'm saying? You wasn't on that, so I don't care about that at this point. So I walk up on her, I drop my stuff, and I walk up on Tweety and I hit her. Once I hit her, she said,
what is this bitch doing here? What are you doing here? How'd you get here? How you get my address?
and I'm like, shut up. I'm like, I'm gonna give you a chance to like square up, or I'm gonna hit you again. So she squares up or whatever. So now we fight. And she's swinging at me. She's hitting me or whatever. I'm a little tipsy because she got drinks there or whatever. Like I said, I already got a drink, but I'm not like, I literally had like half a drink. She's probably already a little lit. So she's hitting me. I'm hitting her.
From the shoulders.
So we're hitting each other, and probably like 2 minutes. It was like one of those longer fights because we're on the floor, y'all. I got my little chi-chi. My chi-chi comes out of my bathing suit. My chi-chis are literally like cross-eyed looking both ways out of my top, and I'm like getting like, you know what I'm saying, when you fighting and you don't really got clothes on, so now you exposed. That's how it is. And we fighting, people are recording. I'm boo boo boo, chi-chis all out
For the free.
2 minutes into this fight, her homegirls come in, jump in, boo. Now I'm getting pulled by my hair. I'm over here,
Whoa.
boo boo. I'm trying to hit with my left hand. Y'all, I'm not left-handed, and I'm not one of those girls that really could just give it to you with any hand. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm boo boo. I don't even know what this is. I'm over here like I'm like boo boo, trying my best. I'm getting pulled all around. My chi-chis are out. I'm like,
Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, boo.
so I'm getting beat up at this point. I'm getting jumped. Her other friend jumps in. It's like 2 girls and her all hitting me or whatever. And at this point, I'm like this. I'm like, but you weird as. And she's like, you pulled up on me. And she's like, you at my house. And she's boo boo. I'm boo boo. Her friends are boo boo, pulling my hair. All this. What do y'all think Feather's doing? Feather's over here.
Get her. Get that. Get them.
Peggy, hate when people lie. Do not lie.
Are you stupid? What do you mean, get them?
They're getting me.
What do you mean, get them? They're literally getting me. So I'm like, girl, I'm like, Feather, come on, help me. And she's like, nah, you got it. Beat them. You got it.
I don't got it.
Like, what do you mean? I literally don't got it. So one of her other friends end up pulling like one of them off of me. Feather ends up pulling me. She's like, you got them. Yeah, you ate that. You got them. So now I'm feeling set up. I didn't hit Feather though, y'all. Like normal me probably would have hit her because I felt set up. But I couldn't confirm that. I didn't know if she was just scared in the moment, heat of the moment, or maybe to her drunk eyes, she felt like I really was like doing my big one or something. But like I'm telling y'all, I wasn't doing my big one. I definitely got Tweety before her friends jumped in. She was getting work done to her ass before them girls jumped in. But like once they jumped in, it was over with. Like I was getting beat up by a bunch of hoes. So I'm like looking at her and she's just like, you did your one, you got them. She said, I'm just like, why you didn't help me? And she's like, you didn't need no help, like you got them. She said, I'm just looking at her like,
okay.
So I end up getting in my car or whatever, and I end up pulling off. I end up leaving that party. I don't say nothing to Feather. She didn't end up saying nothing to me. At this point, I feel set up because it's giving like you were the one who told me about the party. You had the address. You told me about the tweet years after high school, and you told me about the tweet. And when we got there, magically, I fought her, and you didn't jump in like you said you would. Bitch jumped in and saw you came with me, and they didn't even fight you or touch you, even though you were yelling, hyping up me fighting her. Like, it just was giving like maybe she was friends with them and she was setting me up. I don't really know. Y'all can drop in the comments. Drop in the comments. Stop the video right now and tell me in the comments if y'all feel like she was setting me up or she has something to do with that. I still to this day do not know. But what really solidified it for me, at least in my head, that made me feel like she did, is that she never said nothing to me after that. She never checked up on me when I left. Like, she was getting in her car to leave when I was getting in my car to leave. So it's not like I just assumed and left her there stranded to get beat up. She got in her car and we both pulled off. But she never texted me when I got home. She never checked on me after that. She never talked to me days after that. None of that. Like, we just kind of kept following each other, and to the point where I unfollowed her and then she unfollowed me, and that was just it. Me personally, if I go with my homegirl somewhere and I tell her I'm gonna jump in, if she gets jumped and I don't, I'm gonna at least say something. Check on her, see if she's good. Maybe she felt guilty because she didn't jump in, but like for just years at this point, it's been like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you still have not said nothing to me, and we were supposed to be friends. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like she definitely has something to do with that. But at the same time, all I care about is it was only like a minute or two of me getting jumped. And yeah, they like, you know, they kind of had me a little marked up. They had me marked up a little bit. But it wasn't no black eye or nothing. They didn't really do nothing for real. And like the fact that y'all didn't have me beat the up and it was like 3 of y'all against me is just very telling. And old girl, before they even jumped in, was already leaking. Like, baby, I already had you completely marked up. I already had you picked up. I beat the guy to you, and you still were trying to fight after you were already leaking and shit. Like, but yeah, y'all, that's the end of this video. Y'all let me know in the comments right now how y'all feel and what y'all would have done, and if y'all feel like I was wrong or anything like that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Comment other videos that you guys want to see from me. Turn on the post notification bell so you never miss when I post a video. Follow me on all my social medias that are in the link tree in the description box below. Also, y'all, go get my ebook. I'm telling y'all, if y'all are hesitant, if y'all needed a sign to go do content, if you needed a sign to start your content or to elevate your content you've been sitting on, I don't care if you made a video in 2020 and you haven't made a new one since, and you just been waiting on the right time. It's the right time now. You won't regret it. Go ahead and subscribe to the Patreon. Follow me on Instagram at ChesaLaMorena. Follow me on TikTok at ChesaKiana and ChesaMorena. Follow me on Twitch at ChesaKiana. And I love you guys so much. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye. Mwah.
ChesaTheBrat, ChesaTheBrat.